On today's show, we look into One Road and the safety issues it poses to student drivers. And we take a look at how one bunny was spreading Easter cheer on the hill. These stories and more on this edition of Hilltop News. What's rocking, Rock Nation, and welcome back to another episode of Hilltop News. Live from Studio 1060, I'm Ashley Sallaway.
And I'm Brandon McVay.
I hope you had a great Easter weekend, but first Brandon is going to catch you up on everything going on around the hill. Brandon?
Thank you, Ashley. Are you someone who enjoys bringing school spirit to the things they do? If so, Yell Leader applications are due by this Wednesday by either scanning the QR code on your screen or by visiting the Student Council website. Applications are open to all current freshmen through juniors who want to be Yell Leaders for the 2022-2023 school year. Auditions will take place next Tuesday, April 26th at 4:30. If you have any additional questions, you can visit the Student Council website for more information. As today marks the start of Earth Week and Friday being Earth Day, the Environmental Club is planning many events this week, finishing off on Saturday, with cleaning up and planting flowers here at school from 10 until noon. If you plan on attending this event, there's no need to sign up. All you need is to bring some shovels, a gardening glove, and water. Now, as this year is coming to an end, events are taking place, so here's what's happening on this hill.
On Sunday, some of you may have celebrated Easter. On this Ricky on the Rock, we find one little bunny hopping around the hill to share some Easter treats and smiles.
What's up, Rock Nation? Today, I'm going to be spreading some Easter spirit. Come hop with me. What's up, Rock Nation? I got my boy Jerry in the business. How you doing, Jerry? You doing good? You doing good, Jerry? Hey, Rose. How you doing? You doing good?
I'm tired.
Bill, Dexter, I feel like we got off on the wrong ear. How's your day going? Yo, my egg! Oh yeah, oh no way. Oh, I found my egg. I know exactly who I'm gonna give this to. Mr. Toth. Okay, time to give this to my buddy, Mr. Oh, I found a tie. Look at that. This is for you, Mr. Toth.
Thank you.
Hope you have a good one.
You too.
What's your favorite part about Easter?
Probably the egg hunt and the fact that I look like Jesus. Okay.
Hanging with family, actually.
Oh, really? Color? What's your favorite color egg?
Favorite color is red.
Purple. Purple is my favorite color.
Oh man, you want an egg for Easter? 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, oh. For Easter. That's for you. Got you. And do you guys want Easter eggs? Yeah, candy. We'll leave one at her desk. Oh yeah, sticky note. Is there a sticky note thing?
We hope you enjoyed that special holiday segment, and make sure to keep your eye out for more Ricky on the Rock to come. This past Saturday, the Rocket League esports team traveled to Fort Worth to compete in the Lone Star Invitational hosted by Texas Scholastic Esports Federation for their second in-person tournament. With the rise of esports competitions, training centers, and monetary prizes, Braden Bedford looks into one Frisco resident who is making a name for himself in the esports industry.
He gets another one onto Bob. He pulls it off.
This is the sound of one high school graduate, Gavin Edwards, making his mark in the esports world by showing his skill and talent in competitions like SCS Rainbow Six Siege Championships.
Able to take the 7-2 victory.
I meet some people online that invite me to just look at a team, like try out for them basically, like see what it's all about. So ever since then, I tried out for the team, and then I made the team. So the biggest thing I would say is learning to be a good teammate. You know, showing up on time, having your back for your teammates, not blaming them whenever things go wrong. That's the most important thing. If you don't know how to be a good teammate, you're not going to make it anywhere.
Gavin has been gaming since he was a kid with his father, Tom Edwards, but it hasn't been until recently that he got into the esports realm.
I've loved gaming forever since I was a kid growing up. And I've been a part of gaming through work for a very long time as well. So when Gavin was born, it was a natural connection to have him and I kind of play together. He's a really natural leader. And so even on his current team, he's like the team captain. We took high school students like Gavin, and they were coaches to teach, think Little League for esports. So he would basically take a team of 4 middle schoolers and form a team and an approach. The game at the time was Fortnite, and he actually led his teams 2 years in a row to the championship. So a lot of his coaching and leadership really came through there, and I think he's also really big on collaboration and being a good teammate.
Gavin was able to start off strong by making a stood-out first impression with his leadership capabilities for University of North Texas varsity esports team. But Mr. Edwards says he has had his leadership ability since day one.
Having family dinners earlier or me missing out on some of that stuff. So just that level of support and allowing me to do something that's unique and fun, I think is really awesome, and I'm really appreciative for that.
While esports athletes have emerged from their schools to help them progress, athletes like Gavin relied on his father-like-son relationship. For Hilltop News, I'm Brayden Bedford.
Seniors, as there is only 5 weeks left of school, there are still many things you need to graduate. First thing is to submit an appropriate baby photo that will be shown at a slideshow at graduation. Secondly, the school wants to highlight and show you over the past few years since middle school. There are 2 Google Forms that were sent out where you can submit your pictures on both of these forms. Finally, at the Aloha Pep Rally on May 18th, the school wants to recognize your next step after high school. In order to be recognized, you can either email Miss Wingleham or Miss Austin a picture of you and something that represents your next. Almost 1 year since a container ship blocked the Suez Canal, another container ship got stuck in the Chesapeake Bay right off the Maryland coast on March 13th. And for over a month, it was finally set free yesterday. The ship, about the size of 3 football fields, had 2 unsuccessful attempts to dislodge it, and over 500 of its 5,000 containers was taken off the ship, refloated just before 7 a.m. by 2 barges and 5 tugboats. COVID-19 pandemic affected many small businesses. I got to take a look into one local plant shop in downtown Prosper to see how COVID-19 affected them and how they found alternative ways to grow their business. The wife and husband-owned business, famous in Oregon, opened during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, where they received an interesting response during opening.
It was scary to open during COVID because we didn't really know what to expect as far as customers went. We had a really strong online presence already, and that luckily carried us through until we opened our retail location, because we were selling plants way before COVID, probably 2 years prior to COVID. But it was a situation like a porch pickup and not a storefront pickup.
Ever since opening, owner Tanner Mitchell has helped the community with their planning needs. But a year ago, he began going by the name Tanner the Planner on TikTok.
A customer returned this fiddly fig after 2 years of owning it. She wasn't unhappy with it or anything, she was just kind of over it.
Tanner the Planner has 880,000 followers and has received over 8.5 million likes across all of his videos, with many having over 1 million views.
I did my own research. I did a lot of trial and error and kind of figured out a different way to explain things. And I started to talk about it on my Instagram. And then so many people would want, hey, can I buy these plants from you? Thank you for this advice. How can I pay you? Something like that. And it just kind of snowballed into what it is today.
About a year ago in March, we hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. So we're almost to 900,000 now. So it's taken a year, but slowly but surely we're climbing up.
With the popularity of Tanner the Planner on social media, many customers have traveled down from all around the United States in order to visit this local plant shop.
TikTok has helped our business incredibly because the users, the consumers on TikTok love small business. So they want to support small business. And if you give them value, in our case we teach, we give them lots of plant education, in turn you'll find that many of them want to also support your business. We have a lady in store right now looking around right behind you that found us on TikTok and made the drive from Fort Worth, where there are other plant shops, to check us out. So it's a prime example of how gracious and how giving the consumers on TikTok are, how supportive they are.
From the fear of opening during a worldwide pandemic to connecting the world together with their love for plants through Tanner the Planner. For Hilltop News, I'm Brandon McVay. You can visit Tanner the Planner on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for tips on how to keep your plants healthy and alive.
PGA Parkway is a common road driven by students and parents to and from school. Kyla Lewis looks into the reason behind the upcoming construction and the safety threats it creates.
Right behind me is the 2-mile stretch of PGA Parkway that many students travel every day. Between the rutted conditions and the high speeds, this road continues to be the cause of car accidents amongst the student body.
I was driving on PGA Parkway to school, and the light had just turned red off of PGA and Coit. So I looked down to change my music, and then the second that I look up, I just feel this hard bang in the back, and so I decided to pull over to see if everything was okay. But then when I got out, I saw that my bumper was hanging off.
The city of Frisco plans to update the stretch of road from Preston to Coit, but until then the safety threat still stands. Due to the road being within Frisco city limits, Prosper ISD can only advocate for what's best for PISD students and buses.
With PGA Parkway, even though it's just the city of Frisco, we're kind of at their mercy on what they want to do. So we can advocate for it, and our district leaders can do that. But again, it's going to be up to the city of Frisco if they want to do any kind of school zone or anything like that.
The widening of PGA Parkway is supposed to start this summer when there is less school traffic on the road. Prosper ISD says they're keeping an eye on the road and advocating for the safety of students. For Hilltop News, I'm Kyle Lewis.
Construction should start this summer and is planned to be finished by summer of 2025. Now, both tennis and track had big games this past week. Bronwyn Liber is in studio to give you results for both of those teams, as well as everything else Rock Hill sports. Bronwyn?
Thank you, Ashley. This past Tuesday, tennis had 3 athletes compete in the regionals tennis tournament. Of the 3, Blake Anderson finished as your Region 2-5A runner-up in the male singles, advancing him to state. We want to wish Blake the best of luck as he advances to compete in state. Track was also in action this last week as they competed in the District 10 5A Championship this last Wednesday and Thursday. We had multiple district champs, starting off with Gavin Heckey in pole vault, the girls 4x1, which consisted of Kyla Shannon, Kyla Lewis, Layla Lawson, and Samara Williams. Kyla Shannon then went on to also win the 100 meter as well as the 200 meter. Nolan Macklin in the 100 meter as well as the 200 meter, Jordan Edwards in the 300 meter hurdles, and finally the girls 4x4, consisting of Amari Walsall, Shyla Brooks, Jordan Edwards, and Kyla Lewis, with a huge comeback from Kyla on the 4th leg to finish the race. By the end of the meet, 11 school records had been broken, as well as 4 Prosper ISD records. In total, Rock Hill has 16 athletes advancing the area, with girls track finishing as runner-ups and boys track finishing in 3rd for overall. We want to wish the best of luck to all of our athletes advancing to regionals. Baseball was also in action this last week. After a rain cancellation this past Tuesday, the Blue Hawks got started off Wednesday, traveling off to face off against the Colony. Unfortunately, the game didn't go how the Blue Hawks had hoped, coming up just short with the final score reading 2-3 the Colony. Baseball looked to change outcomes on Friday when they traveled out to McKinney North. Our Blue Hawks showed out this game with Brenner Cox hitting a home run and both Uriah Walters and Chase Irby bringing in bases by hitting RBIs, leading the Blue Hawks to an 8-1 victory. Finally, softball was also in action this last week, starting off at home where they faced off against Wiley East with Gabrielina Luna hitting a home run and Leah Reinhart leading the team in defense to bring them to a 7-0 win. They then set out off the road to face off against Denison. Our Blue Hawks fought hard, but in the end they came up short with a final score of 2-3, unfortunately ending their undefeated streak in districts. However, with 2 games left before playoffs, softball still sits in first in the districts with an 11-1 record. With playoffs right around the corner, Connor Fuchsa caught up with Coach Bud to see how softball plans to continue their dominance in this postseason.
Thank you, Bronwyn. Today I'm here with Coach Bud talking about the softball team's success so far this year. So, can you tell me a little bit about what the team's done this year?
So we actually had a pretty intense preseason tournaments and schedule to prepare us for this district, and so that's why we've been so successful. We're 11-1 in district, and we're just looking on eyes on the prize and looking down the road, and hopefully to be the most successful team in Prosper ISD.
Perfect. Now, unfortunately, I know last week y'all did take your first loss, but how is that going to be used with the team as motivation going forward in the rest of the season?
We just have our eyes forward. We're on a long journey, and the final destination is what we're really looking for.
And now, I know every team looking for the Stars looking to go to state, and y'all have a really good chance of getting there, but how are y'all preparing right now for the playoffs and then getting to state?
I mean, we can start with when we lost last year. That's when we start preparing from the summer until now. Like, they have been through mental toughness drills, pressure drills, so they're prepared, they're ready.
Now y'all have seen a lot of success this year, and y'all are ranked one of like the top 25 teams in the state. How is that going to help you with the move up to 6A next year?
Well, I think with the legacy that our seniors have built have really helped the younger generation kind of step into the roles of this is how we prepare, this is what is expected of us, and playing the opponents that we have before. We've actually played our 6A opponents, and we're really looking forward to competing at a higher level.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, back over to you, Bronwyn, in the studio.
Softball's final 2 games will be on Tuesday at home versus Princeton, and then they finish off the season on the road against Lovejoy. Softball is not the only team in action this week, so let's take a quick look at all of the other sports teams coming up in action. Well, that's all we have for today's show. For Hilltop News, I'm Bronwyn Liber.
I'm Ashley Sallaway.
And I'm Brandon McVay. Keep rocking, Blue Hawks.